Hello. It's time to talk about music. I'm Dylan.
I'm Leslie.
And we got cats. Lita's trying to attack me as we're doing the intro here. So this is Lita. Say hi, Lita. Meow.
She might start meowing at some point.
Yeah. And we're talking about the Now Now by the Gorillaz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
This was Lissy's pick.
This was my pick. Because it was my retaliation pick from Dylan picking Sublime. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, because I was not thrilled going into Sublime. So I figured, alright, you're going to suffer, or you're going to make me suffer, so now I'm going to make you suffer.
And suffered I did. So, let's jump right into it.
Yeah. I kind of forget how this whole, format goes on this one.
So, history with the Gorillaz.
So, I feel like I've always known about the Gorillaz. I feel like I've said the same thing with Sublime. Where I feel like I've always known about them my whole life.
Yeah.
It's just one of those bands that you're born into knowing. But, actually listening to the Gorillaz wise, aside from, maybe a few of their songs popping on the radio, definitely when, see, I want to say, when I first started working at Hot Topic, but I probably would more so lean towards, around the time, in high school when I was, really shopping at Hot Topic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And, I was aware of them, and, I'm going to listen to more of their stuff when I worked at Hot Topic, because obviously they'd be on the radio more. But, I'd say that was around the time when I was first introduced into them. No one really introduced me into the Gorillaz, I just knew of the Gorillaz.
Okay. Fair, kind of same thing.
Yeah.
You just stumble past it. The Gorillaz are one of those bands you just stumble, across.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, whatever. We're, 2.5 minutes in, so I was seeing how long we were going to wait until we talked about, the big thing with them. When did you find out that, they're, a cartoon band robe? I don't know how to explain it.
Well, they're a real band.
They're a real band, but
their performance, their characters are fake.
Yeah.
Or digital.
A virtual band, that's what it is.
Yeah, a virtual band.
They're a virtual band. There we go.
I don't really know. I never really I don't know how to explain it. I never really kind of put much thought into it. And maybe that's because, when I was younger, before I, really cared enough about the Gorillaz, I was listening to, Vocaloid in, 5th and 6th grade, and I was, super into Hatsune Miku, who's not even just, a virtual band, it just isn't real. She's not real.
Yeah.
So, I was listening to, different Vocaloids and stuff, so the concept of, a cartoon band or a virtual band wasn't anything new to me, wasn't anything wild to me. I think the more wild part about it was I was whoa, I can't believe that there's actually something like this in America, but very different than what Vocaloid is, obviously. And the closest only other thing I ever saw to it was Death Clock in America.
I was gonna say when I remember learning about it, I was oh, it's just Death Clock, but also, I mean, not really the same thing, but similar to Blue Man Group.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the concept of it. You know what I mean? I know we've talked about this before. We were even talking about this in the My Chemical Romance episode, where the Black Parade was a fictional band based in My Chemical Romance lore or whatever. And I think I even was talking about how I like stuff like that, how the Gorillaz aren't a real, I mean, they're a real band, but they're not the faces that you correlate with the band aren't real people.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. It's pretty cool.
It's Daft Punk too.
Kinda, yeah.
They're just robots. It's insane. All right, so the Gorillaz are a wow.
You good?
Yes. The Gorillaz are a British virtual band created in 1998 by British musician Damon Albarn and artist Jamie Hewlett.
Well, I guess I'm already wrong in saying in America because they're fucking British.
They're from London.
That I actually didn't fucking know.
The band primarily consists of 4 fictional characters: Tootie, which is vocals and keyboards, Murdoch Nichols, bass guitar, Noodle, guitar, keyboards, vocals, and Russell Hobbs, drums. Their universe is presented in media such as music videos, interviews, comic strips, and short cartoons. Gorillaz music has featured collaborations with a wide range of feature artists, which Albarn as the only permanent musical contributor.
It is like the same time, like I have the same feeling as when I found out, I believe it was Neck Deep, that they're British.
Okay, yeah.
And I had no fucking idea. Again, I mean, I'm not like super deep into Gorillaz.
When I was younger, I always thought Green Day was British.
Oh, really?
Well, because like the way Billy Joe sings at times,
I can see that.
Like some British accent.
But no, I'm not like super like heavy deep into Gorillaz, but I do enjoy their music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I haven't seen any interviews or anything. So
I never watched a Gorillaz interview a day in my life.
Yeah, no.
I think I've only watched like one live performance to like be like, how do they do this live? Mm-hmm. Like I think I just wanted to see what it was live. Their genres range from alternative rock, electronic, trip hop, art pop, and funk.
Yeah.
The band's 2001 debut album, which features dub, Latin, and punk influences, went triple platinum in the UK and double platinum in Europe. They're driven by the success of the lead single Clint Eastwood.
Mm-hmm.
Their most successful lead single is Feel Good Inc.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
The band's third album, Plastic Beach, features environmentalist. Yes, themes, synth pop elements, an expanded roster of feature artists. Their fourth album, The Fall, was recorded on the road during the Escape the Plastic Beach tour. I'm just reading shit. I'm seeing what sticks out here. Gorillaz has presented itself live in a variety of different ways through its history, such as hiding the touring band from the audience view in the early years of the project, projecting animated band members on stage via computer graphics, and traditional live touring featuring a fully visible live band. They have won a Grammy Award, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, an NME Award, and 4 MTV Europe Music Awards. They have also been nominated for 11 Brit Awards and won Best British Group at the 2018 Brit Awards. Gorillaz have sold over 27 million albums worldwide.
I feel like they should do what Vocaloid does for their concerts. Like, remember when I showed you that Hatsune Miku concert and I was like, yeah, she's literally just like a projected 3D model screen on a stage.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be really cool.
That'd be wild. So, we'll be jumping into the Gorillaz' 6th studio album, The Now Now. Lissy.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you pick The Now Now?
Well, I already told you why I picked it. But I feel like...
But this, like, specifically just this album.
Specifically this album, because I feel like in my brain, when we were talking Sublime, my brain immediately went to vibes, weed, psychedelics. And I'm like, if I were to parallel vibes, weed, psychedelics with your take of it of Sublime, what would mine be? And I think it would be this album.
Okay.
Or something close to.
Okay. So it was released June 29th, 2018. So very recently. 7 years ago. Damn.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Damn. The genre features synth pop, funk, and psychedelic pop. The album length is 40 minutes and 42 seconds, and you feel it. You feel the 40 minutes. What do you think of the album art?
I love the album art. I love the fucking colors.
It is a cool
like the pink and the blue, like those piece. Pinks and blues just like go so fucking well together. It is a really fucking cool album art.
No, that's good. There's like 6 singles off this fucking album.
I know. I saw that the other day and I'm like, how?
There's 6 singles.
How are there 6 singles from this one fucking album?
That's
like half the album.
So the first 2 were released on the same day. And then single 3, 4, and 5 were released all within a week of each other. And then single 6 was released after the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the way of doing it, though. The album spawned 6 singles, including Humility, the lead single, Hollywood, and Trans. The Now debuted at number 4. How? On the Billboard 200. And at number 5 on the UK album chart. It received generally positive reviews from critics who praised the album's minimalist sound and lyrical content. Yeah. However, some reviewers criticized its perceived lack of ambition and focus. Well.
I think my favorite thing about this album is it was written so they could just have more songs on tour.
Yeah, I meant to say that.
That is like the funniest fucking thing. They wrote this album so they can perform more songs live, and it was like material. So well critically acclaimed.
Yeah, they literally just wanted more material. That's kind of literally how like the background of like going in the making of this album like started.
Mm-hmm.
Was like they were on tour, but like they wanted more fucking songs like on tour. So,
which is just wild to me. They're just like, yeah, we'll throw this album together so we can sing more songs, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna top the charts.
Mm.
What are you reading?
I'm just seeing if it like says anything like interesting in the background and recording, but it's kind of literally what we've just been talking about of like they literally just wanted like more out like because the previous album literally came out in April of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So a year later and a couple months.
Which I just want to say, I fucking hate the Humans album art.
Okay.
It makes me uncomfortable.
According to Stephen Thomas Erlewine of AllMusic, the Now includes elements of 1980s new wave and yacht soul, which suggests the influences of disco and old school hip hop in Albarn's songwriting. Clash magazine described its songs as slick mutant funk, while Drowned in Sound noted a breezy synth pop style that is compared with Gorillaz' early album Plastic Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Pitchfork describes the album as daydream funk, playful synth pop, and upscale disco.
Upscale disco?
Yeah. Corbin Reed of Uprock said, stuttering synth melodies look into a swirl around an impressive collection of different and varying drum patterns. What?
No, I will agree to the one point in that is the one thing I do really like about this album is the drum patterns. Because they are all over the place.
Okay, so I was listening to this album. And you ever hear of Tame Impala?
Heard of, never listened to.
You never listened? So I've like listened to Tame Impala. Like not like deep thought, but like listened to it before. And knew what it like sounded like and shit. And it's funny that it says this. there's
Find your spot, goddamn.
Corbin Reed. I don't want to read like everything else. It's a lot. But Corbin Reed also compared it to music of Tame Impala, noting it's maybe less psychedelic in execution and more tingled in feeling.
What?
Fuck if I know. Finn from DIY called the album a more spaced out affair, stripped of its star-studded collaborations and bathed in the apparent apathy of the modern age.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Fuck if I know. Okay. Yeah, people gave this general fucking favorite reviews, man. A lot of people didn't like Humans, it seems like. 11 pop tracks that zip with energy, passion, and an abundance of ideas. Really? A bunch of ideas, you think? No.
Oh yeah, it is just it is just an 11-track album, right? So over half the album is singles.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Alright. I guess we can get into this fucking album. So there's 11 songs. It's the only one on Spotify. There's no other addition or anything.
Well, I mean, they I don't want to say they rushed to make this album, but they just threw this album together. I don't think there'd be any other additions.
By the fucking sounds, yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, this is fine.
By the fucking sounds of this fucking album,
they put a bunch of stuff together and went, yeah, sure.
I did not like this album. Anyway, track 1, Humility, featuring George Benson.
This is a really good opening track.
So, it's not bad. It's not good. But I heard it and I was like, where the fuck is this taking me? It kept me guessing. So I didn't know where we're going.
I will say, so, like, this is the most Gorillaz song off the album.
Yeah, right? I felt like I've heard this song before, and that's where, like, the Tame Impala, like, influence was kind of...
You definitely have heard this song before. 100% you've heard it before. It's one of the most frequently played ones now. I feel like, especially like from working Hot Topic and Journeys and Zoomies and stuff, like this ends up on the lists of like Good Feel Inc. and Clint Eastwood. I don't know why. I like it. It's a really fucking good song. But I think genuinely, right? This was a thrown together album. I've said this so many times already. But we're gonna be fun with this. We're gonna have some entertainment and thoughts into this. I would like to throw the option of a concept album into this, right? As a music theory. And I would like to think that this is like the Gorillaz as you would imagine the Gorillaz, and then the rest of the album is the Gorillaz taking acid and going on a trip. And that's the concept of the album. This is pre-trip, and then the second song transitions you into the trip, and then you're on the trip.
I'm seeing if anyone... So there is technically a concept to this album. It's not a true concept album, but there is a general running theme of the album that makes it technically like a concept album. The concept behind the Gorillaz album, the Now, is a theme of isolation, fear, loss, and aging.
Oh, I'm way off. I'm just going by vibes.
Like, isolation, the album explores the idea of being left behind by the world and the fear of loss. Aging, the album deals with the realities of aging, the challenges of reconnecting with the world. Materialism. Some songs on the album, like 1% and Magic City, criticize materialism. Politics. The album also themes include the idea of having one's own mind over mass media.
So they took shrooms and went on a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like vibe-wise, this is like the chillest song on the fucking album. Like I feel like you start this album, you hear this song, and you're like, okay, all right, I understand what I'm in for. And then it goes completely fucking south.
Well, I didn't know what I was in for. I was more so like, where is this taking me? I was ready for it. Mind you, so Lissy like randomly texted me the one day. I don't know if you guys are able to tell. I'm getting over being sick, but I'm also stoned, so that's why I'm having trouble reading and shit. So I am known to smoke weed all day, every day, pretty much, because I won't kill anyone. But Lissy was like, you should like listen to this album and like green out. And I was like, Lissy, I do that with every fucking album. I do that with music all the time.
I'm just saying.
Like, you're telling me nothing different. So I listened to it on Sunday. I watched the Eagles win. And then I was like, throw on this album. Listened to it. Smoked weed. Then I listened to it at work. And I was also very pissed off. So then I listened to it today. Greened out. So, yeah.
I just feel like genuinely, it's one of those albums where if you're over the age of 21, of course, and you just get incredibly fucking high and listen to this fucking album, like, it's one of those albums I feel like just put on and lay in bed and just chill and let it do what it do. And I feel like it would make it sound, I don't want to say make it sound better, but it would be a much better experience. Because I feel like with all of the different, like, synths and, like, drum beats, and it feels very experimental, honestly. And I feel like with all of the stuff that's going on in the songs, like, you'll really be able to just sit and kind of focus on each intricacy of the song if you just play it, lay down, and do nothing but listen to it. I used to do that a lot. I used to do that with Typo Negative. And when I would, like, get really fucking stoned and just lay in bed and just listen to Typo Negative, you would really hear, like, at least I would hear all the intricacies that go on into the album and into the songs. Like, stuff that maybe you wouldn't really be focusing on otherwise.
It's fun to do that with a lot of, like, certain bands. Like, Typo Negative is definitely one. Tool is another. Mm-hmm. Like, it is insane to, like... Black Sabbath's another really good one to do it, too.
Yeah.
It's really wild to, like, listen and to go, like, whoa. So, humility. We already gave her fucking, like, input, right?
I don't even know if you really gave an input on
it. I said... I know, I said it's not good, but it's not bad. But it's one of those songs where it kept me guessing the whole time of where we were going. It's like, all right... I don't know where we're going.
Okay.
This ain't Clint Eastwood or Feel Good. Like, but okay. Moving on to trans. I wrote I Love Dark Wave.
This is my favorite Gorillaz song.
Because it was like, it literally, I was like, hell yeah. The fucking thing was going. The bass line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh fuck. The goth kids are dancing at Hot Topic.
This is my favorite fucking Gorillaz song.
Like, if the lyrics were fucking darker and the vocals were overdubbed, it would sound like a fucking goth song.
Mm-hmm. No, the first time I actually ever heard this song, I was working at Journeys, and we used to have CDs, or not CDs, DVDs, that we would put into a DVD player, and they would play on the TV screens. I don't know if they still do that or not, but they did this back in, like, 2018, 2019. And the CDs were only, or the DVDs were only 4 hours long. It was a 4-hour loop. And this song came on, and I was like, yo, this song fucking slaps. Who the fuck is this? And I looked at the TV, and I noticed it was Gorillaz, but also the music video was playing to this song. And the music video, like, I just kind of stood there in the middle of the sales floor staring at the TV watching it. So I was like, whoa. I was like, what is happening right now at the Journeys? But yeah, no, this, I don't know what it is about this song. If it's like the synthy piano, like or whatever the fuck it goes, like.
No, it's literally
it's
just
so
that.
Good.
It literally almost sounds like the typical fucking goth fucking beat where it's the goth kids dancing at Hot Topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, that's why I was like, this is actually pretty fucking good.
And I also really just like the vocal style on this track. Like, I don't know, like it still obviously has the Gorillaz vibes to it, but this is what I mean by, like, I feel like the first track you could see this being a Gorillaz song. Second track you're like, we're kind of taking a trip, and then you're just off the deep end after this. Like, it feels like an in-between where it is, like, transitioning into something, like, we're transitioning into something else in this album, like, immediately. It's a very good in-between of both sounds of this album.
So, like, at this point in the album, I was like, okay. And
like, alright, and then it never got better for you.
Well, track 3, Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Featuring Snoop Dogg.
He went hard on this for no reason.
Jamie Principle. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the fucking track. I'm like, okay, what's the next song as is playing? I'm like, okay, Hollywood. And I'm looking at the features and I'm like, all right, this got to be a good one, right? It has Snoop Dogg on it. This was garbage.
No, like, okay.
No, this song was so bad.
So let me just say this, right?
No.
This is, I agree. This is nowhere near my favorite song on this album. This is not a good song. The pacing of this is so fucking weird. But there's just, like, that one bridge where Snoop Dogg is going really hard for no reason, and there's, like, no solid beat that matches with his fucking verse. And I'm like, what is going on?
I was so disappointed because I was like, yo, this gotta be a good one. You got fucking Snoop Dogg, and you just got Snoop Dogg on this track. I don't know who the other guy is. Jamie Principle.
Like, I think it was an interesting enough take. Again, I don't really like the song, but to me, like, I don't hate it when bands do stuff so, like, not lined up. You know what I mean? Like, it feels kind of experimental, where you're just kind of doing whatever. And I'm here for that. But it was just so weird hearing that one Snoop Dogg verse, and he's just doing his Snoop Dogg thing, and the backtrack has, like, nothing to do with it. Like, the backtrack is, like, in another room. Like, your princess is in another castle, and Snoop Dogg is just here fucking spitting bars.
I just hated this
Like,
song.
I don't know what was going on here, but, like...
It wasn't good. It's the longest song on the album.
It's so long!
It's almost 5 minutes long.
Like, I felt like this song took forever. Like, so because I was listening to this on the ride home, and you guys aren't gonna understand, like, where I'm talking about, right? But when Trans ended, and I was on my way to work, I think I was pulling up to, like, near the Taco Bell.
Okay.
By our apartment. When this song ended, I was hitting the highway.
God damn.
Like, I'm like, how fucking long is this going on for? Like, what the fuck? And I was at that light near that pizza place that a lot of people, like, think is the most perfect thing ever, and it's not.
Yeah.
And the Snoop Dogg track, like, the Snoop Dogg verse is hurting. I'm at the red light, and I'm just sitting there, like, what is happening?
No, I'm laughing.
The song's still going.
I'm laughing at what you said, because that was really good.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was really good if I didn't understand, but I knew what you were talking about. But that was fucking funny that you had to do that.
But, like, I'm just sitting there, and I'm, like, looking around at the other cars near me, and I'm like, do they know what I'm experiencing right now in this vehicle? It was, I was, and again, it sucked because, like, I'm off the high of, like, my favorite Gorillaz song just played, and this song is a fucking banger. Like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I literally was like, okay, well, that was garbage. Never again.
You're like, well, that was upsetting. Next.
Like, I think I skipped it on my third turn. Like, listen, I was like, no.
You're like, it doesn't get better the more I listen to it.
I don't need this fucking Snoop Dogg in my life right now.
I don't need this Snoop Dogg in my life.
All right, time out for a minute.
Okay, we're taking a quick little time out.
All right, track 4, Kansas. So my notes say, at this point in the album, I now remember why I only really ever listened to Clint Eastwood and Feel Good Inc. Those songs aren't even good either. Fuck, the vocals are fucking horrible.
My thought of this song, specifically...
I went nuclear on this song. Fuck this song.
And the only thought I had this entire song, and I don't know why, was... Yeah, this is what I would imagine a song would sound like if you made a song from the second Back to the Future movie and the third Back to the Future movie. And I don't know why, but that's all I could think of. Like, if you took the two movies, smashed them together, and, like, somehow produced a song out of it, this would be the song. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, we're 4 tracks in. And we have an okay track, a really good track, an ass track, and just something fucking garbage.
And just whatever the fuck is going on right now. Yeah. I'm still upset about Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, like I back to back. I'm like, what the fuck?
I feel like the whole time Dylan's listening to this, every single song, at one point he just goes, I'm just still stuck. Like, why the fuck did they do that with Snoop Dogg? Like,
I honestly,
the album ends and he's like, I still don't understand that whole Snoop Dogg thing.
I honestly don't. I don't.
3 days from now, Dylan's gonna be at work. He's gonna throw some parts down and go, like, seriously, this fucking Snoop Dogg track, I don't get it.
I don't fucking understand. I'm gonna, like, have one of, like, my crash out moments, and it's just, and, like, you're thinking it's gonna be, like, something like, oh.
And the Gorillaz did Snoop Dogg dirty.
Yeah, just, like, fucking Snoop Dogg's on the Gorillaz track. What the fuck? Bullshit.
You should bring this up to your dad. See what happens.
My dad would probably like it.
Your dad, I don't even know if your dad, like, I know your dad knows who the Gorillaz are, but I don't even know if he's ever listened to this album. You should just play the song for him and be like, Dad, tell me what you think about this. Send it to him. Send the song to him in a text message and just be like, tell me your feedback, because it's very important.
He's gonna call me.
He's like, yeah, that song was fire. That was great. You know, Snoop Dogg never misses.
He's gonna call me like he did with the Breaking Ben song.
Like, so there's a new Breaking Ben song? Yeah, it's Breaking Ben. It's Breaking Ben, but it's good. You know, I'm not surprised they're just kind of doing their Breaking Ben thing. But
my dad's wild. I love my dad. Anyway, moving on. Track 5 to Sorcerers? That's how you say it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like, wait, let me look at the track listing really quick. Oh, no, you know what? I was going to say, I feel like this song was a little bit of a skip over, but no, it was the next song. This one, if I'm not mistaken, for some reason, the background music was making me think about, like, a level 6, like, level in a video game. Like, and I don't know how else to explain it the proper way, but, like, you ever play those video games and there's levels in them and you get to a level that just kind of feels a little odd and out of place and you can't really put your finger on it, but you're just like, this is just like a weird level. It felt like it had, like, not like the song itself didn't have the vibe. The song itself very much fits into this album, but like the music that would play in one of those levels that you're just like, this is kind of weird. Why'd they even throw this in the game? I feel like this song could be that music for that level.
It's the weird side quest.
Yeah, it's like the weird side quest music, and I don't know like exactly how to put my finger on it, but I'm like, it doesn't feel like intense enough for a boss battle, but it just feels like it's there. Like it's there for some reason. And I don't know, something about it.
It's like, I'm trying to think. GTA is coming to my head, so I guess I'll just do GTA. It's like in GTA 5, when you have to go visit, like, the strangers and the freaks, instead of doing like the heist missions and shit, you go to the fucking park, and they sell you, like, medical marijuana, and you smoke it, and then you gotta kill all these fucking clowns, because you're, like, having a really bad trip. It's fucking weird.
And you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now?
And you have, like, you don't have to do it, but, like, you earn fucking shit for it. And it, like, actually, like, advances the story as well. So it's like, you kind of have to do it. Anyway, Moving on to track 6, Idaho. And I wrote About Time, Something Different, and It's Okay. And I gotta play just a couple seconds to refresh my memory as to why I wrote that. So hold on a second. Okay. Right, okay. So it's just kind of like very acoustically and like spacey. And I enjoyed this because it wasn't shitty whatever the fuck was going on in the past couple songs. This was a nice like break, and I enjoyed it.
I will say it is a very good break amidst all the chaos going on in all of these fucking songs. But to me, like, it was just a little too slow. Like, it picks up a bit with the electronics at the end, but like to me it took me out of like what I was vibing with the chaos, and it was just like, okay, break, and I'm like, wait.
Well, because it comes in at track 6 out of 11, so the midway point.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
like
the
turning point of
it.
it.
It's a nice midway point, and that's why I enjoyed it.
But honestly, like, I could take or leave this song. It didn't really do too much for me.
Next, Lake Zurich. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, I wrote banger because it's mostly fucking instrumental. Because my biggest problem with this is the vocals. I have a note written here. This album would be pretty good if the vocals weren't ass. My god, these vocals fucking suck. The music is great, but the music, like if this was an instrumental album, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. But the vocals suck. The vocals in the mix are garbage. I hate it. It's bad. I fucking hate it. I don't even want to put fucking songs on our playlist, but I have to because that's the rules. I hate the vocals so much.
No, see, the thing is, like, with this with this album in general, like, and it's kind of become like a running joke where, like, if you ever hear like a song or an album or a band in general and their mixing is terrible, it sounds like ass, it sounds like it's been recorded in a fucking toilet, like things just don't line up properly, and you're like, this is like the worst shit I've ever heard in my entire life, send it to me because I'd probably fucking love it. Like, I love shitty fucking music. Like, music that sounds like off or bad or like out there, like, I really fucking love it. I think that's why I do like this album, because like it is heavily produced, which is one of the issues I take with Code Orange. I feel like Code Orange like tries to sound raw, but they're overproduced and it doesn't work for me. Where this is an overproduced album, but it's also synth and it's supposed to be like psychedelic and electronic, and it just doesn't line up, and it works. And to me, it works. And that's why I like it. But I will say, like, I forgot that the song was an instrumental for the most part, and I was just vibing with it, and I was like, wait, where's the lyrics? I'm like, where are the vocals to this song? But I was just kind of like, all right, okay. All right. Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
It's a good beat. It's a really good beat.
Oh, no, it's a good song. I really enjoy it. Anyway, moving on to Magic City. And I wrote, great fucking music, horrible vocals.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time remembering this one. Can you play me a couple clips?
Yeah. I closed out Spotify. Hold on.
Because, like, I know the song name, but it's, like, not playing in my head. Okay, yeah. So, I will say, like, this one kind of fell into the same category with me as the Sublime album, where it was just, like, I feel like I just heard this song.
Yeah, there's a couple, this is where it kind of, so, I did write in my notes, too, at one point of, like, we are at the point of the, like, I kind of called it, but, like, I wrote the notes on my second listen, to be fair, so I didn't really call it. But I was like, we're at the point in this album where everything just sounds the fucking same.
That's fair. I get that. But this one, like, really, like, once it hit, and maybe it was because it was the first of a couple, but I was like, I feel like I just heard this song.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, it's one of those songs, and it's overall one of those albums where I feel like I could just put on in the background and, like, do my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not something, like, I really need to sit and listen hard to. It's very good, like, chill music for me.
Okay. Anyway, moving on to Fireflies.
You would not believe your eyes.
I fucking wish it was that, because this song was whatever.
Did you write anything down for this one?
No, I just knew that this song was... This kind of went in with what I wrote of, like, we kind of just sound the same.
No, I agree. I agree.
Like, the Magic City, Fireflies, and then the next song, 1%, I was like, we sound the same here.
Yeah. Fireflies and 1% actually blended in for me, like, in my brain. I will say that much. Like, I didn't realize that the album was on the last track and ended, until it ended, and I was like, where's the, what was the 11th song? And I had to, like, back up my Spotify, and I was like, oh shit, I was like, I didn't realize.
Oh, I get that, of how, like, yeah.
I don't even think that they intentionally meant to blend, like, or like, sound like they blend together.
Yeah,
I think it was
the
just
way it went.
Yeah, just the way it was going, and as I was like, because I was driving home too, so you know what, I was probably tired, from work and everything, and I just don't think I was like paying that close of attention to it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, no,
I'm like, hold up, we're done, like, that's it? Because I think that was the last song, right?
Well, no, track 11 is Souki. Souki.
So it was 3 songs that blended for me.
Oh.
It was 3 songs that blended together.
This one I wrote, it should have just been an instrumental track. So me saying literally, like, it should have just fucking, the vocal sucked.
Play this one again a little bit for me. Oh yeah, this instrumental is fucking fire.
Yeah, no, the instrumental's great.
I like the, like, clicking in the back. Like, it almost sounds like, what are those things called? It's like that wooden thing with, like, a needle in it. It goes back and forth, and it, like, finds the beat for you.
A music box?
No, not a fucking music box. They use them in, like, music classes and teaching, like, when to find a beat.
A click track.
Kind of. It just clicks. Like, it'll be like, click, 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 or whatever. It reminds me of that. But no, maybe I was just really fucking tired the last time I listened to this, because all 3 of those songs just blended into one for me. So that might be kind of a my bad and a listener error on my part, because I don't really have too much to say about all 3 of them. But I guess I will say, in fairness, again, it falls into that same line of, like, I just had it on, I didn't have to think too much about it, and I was just kind of vibing driving home. Like, it was good music to drive home to and get me home.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, my 2 favorite tracks, and what we would be adding to the playlist, would be Trans and Lake Zurich.
You can't just take my favorite song off the album.
Well, I did, because it is my pick first, because you picked the album.
That's really unfair,
and I will add this to the Talking Music playlist. So, well, first I should actually wait until see what you got here, just in case I have to do it in order. Anyway, what are your favorite tracks, Lyssie?
So I'll put on Humility, because I feel like that one's gotta be on there, and I'll say Sorcerers.
Okay.
I was between that and Kansas, and the only reason it's Kansas is because I'm thinking about Back to the Future now.
So, Humility, Trans, Sorcerers, and Lake Zurich. Least favorite tracks. The whole rest of the fucking album for me.
Nope, you gotta pick one.
Hollywood.
Because, like, why did they do Snoop Dogg like that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I'd probably say Idaho.
Okay.
I'd probably say Idaho. Just because it felt very slow, very quick.
That's fair.
Like, it to me, it took me out of it too much.
That's fair.
And I was like, whoa, we have a big change in pace right now. And the thing is, like, we had a change in pace, and it kind of still just went back to what it was doing before anyway. So It wasn't like there was, like, a second shift in the album or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway. Rating this album out of 10. I'm giving this a whopping 3.75.
That's too harsh. That's way too harsh.
I feel like a 4 was too nice.
I feel like that's way too harsh.
At 3.75. Music was great. Vocals sucked. Everything else, I just don't care about.
I give this album like a solid 6.5. I feel like 7's too high and 6 is too low. Because again, like, I like music that doesn't sound coherent. So like, I'm here for it. I didn't have an issue with the vocals at all. I like the vocal styles, and it's the thing is, it's just one of those albums where it's like, am I gonna be putting this album on overly frequently?
Never again.
No, not a whole heck of a lot, but like, if I'm like, I don't know, I just built a Lego set today, and I'm already planning on pre-ordering another one with my next paycheck. So like, if I have like a couple hours that I'm gonna be building a Lego set, maybe I'll toss this album on as the background noise. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it'll be one of those things where it's like, I need something chill to just kind of vibe out to while I'm doing this, and yeah, this is here. I can toss this album in like the queue or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not something I'm gonna be reaching for, even though my favorite Gorillaz song is off of this album. But all in all, I don't feel like it's a bad album, but I don't think it's as critically acclaimed as a lot of the reviews state it is. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like there's definitely better Gorillaz albums out there. I just think it's crazy that they threw this album together. They threw a bunch of noodles at the wall. No pun intended about the members named Noodles. But just threw a bunch of noodles at the wall, saw whatever stuck, and said, yep, put it in there so we can sing it on tour. All right.
Like, we need more songs. They're playing on tour, and they're like, they already have 5 albums out at this point.
We need more.
We need more.
We need more.
We just need more.
And I'm like, all right. But like, I gotta give them the credit for that, is that they just saw whatever stuck on the wall, threw it into an album, seemingly.
I think that's why this album fucking sucks.
But the thing is, the reviews are just like, yeah, no, this is like top 4 charts, top 5 charts.
Yeah, like how?
This is fantastic.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, I gotta give them credit for that. That just like they really do like.
Bro, they didn't care about making this album. They just said fuck it.
It seems like though that like they kind of just excel at whatever they do, really. Like that Gorillaz just kind of has this overarching like vibe to it of just the band itself, where they're like, we could kind of just do whatever and people are gonna love it. And they do. And people just love it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, what actual fans, aside from like music reviewers, think about this album, I feel like I remember when I was at like Hot Topic and Journeys and whatnot. I feel like I remember hearing from fans that this album was getting like mixed reviews, where people either really liked it or they really fucking hated it, and there was kind of no in between. I could be incorrect about that. If you're listening to this and you're a Gorillaz fan, like, let me know. If you know other Gorillaz fans, let me know. But I feel like I remember people being so split down the middle about this album. So.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about this album coming out or anything. So.
What year was it? Was it 2019?
2018.
2018. Okay, so I was still working on Hot Topic when this came out.
June of 2018, the month I graduated.
This came out a month before I quit Hot Topic.
I graduated in June of 2018.
Because this album came out. I remember getting stuff, like promotional stuff for this album before it came out and whatnot for the store. And then I quit Hot Topic at like the end of July, and I started working at Journeys at the end of July. So yeah, like this was right in between my Hot Topic to Journeys, because I was like, I feel like I remember hearing about this album from both stores. Like, when did this come out? And that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense now, because it was literally right when the album came out. I switched jobs, but yeah, no, I remember getting all the promotional stuff and the T-shirts and shit for it and whatnot, and I remember people coming in and hearing different reviews from it. So, because the Gorillaz fans that came in were very vocal about being Gorillaz fans.
I don't think I've ever met a Gorillaz fan.
I think I know one Gorillaz fan.
Like, I never met someone being like, I'm a diehard Gorillaz fan.
I know one big Gorillaz fan. But like, aside from them,
are they like a normal person?
I used to work with them at Hot Topic recently. With the blue hair.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They, if I'm remembering correctly, they were a really big Gorillaz fan. But they were also normal about it. I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff online of like some Gorillaz fans being kind of wild. I feel like Gorillaz fans fall into the same category as certain anime fans, where it's like you either find really good ones or like they're fucking insane. Again, I could be wrong about that. That could just be the internet doing the internet's thing.
I didn't watch like any live footage or anything like going into this or anything. Like, do they go wild at a live show?
The band or their fans?
The fans.
I don't know. I don't really recall ever seeing like live footage of them.
Like, do we have wild deaths at Gorillaz shows?
Can you imagine?
That'd be insane.
Can you fucking imagine? Well, I don't know, because it is very more of like indie, like an indie vibe.
That's the thing.
Like, would you have a wall of death at a Smiths show?
Fuck yeah.
As long as we throw Morrissey in the middle.
Fuck yeah. Frankly, Mr. Shankly, I'm spin kicking a motherfucker. Oh fuck. I'm crowd killing.
I don't know. I feel like there's definitely got to be something funky going on in this fan base. But that could just be me.
There's something funky.
That could just be me. I just feel like I remember specifically something about Gorillaz fans when I was working at Hot Topic, and not like it being one of those things that kind of drew me away from Gorillaz, where I was just like, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I could have just been like being a little elitist about it. You know what I mean?
A little elitist.
Oh no, because I was really fucking bad, and like between like 2016 and 2018, I was so fucking bad with that shit. I was still pretty bad in like 2019, but between those 2 years, I was such a fucking prick when it came to music. I was such a little dick. Like, I could have met one bad fan and been like, this fan base sucks and I hate everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No. The less we forget about this album, the better.
It was just really cool album artwork. Gotta say, the album artwork fucking slaps.
Alright, well, that was our review on the Now by the Gorillaz.
It sure was.
I guess now I got to tell you what I will be choosing for us to listen to.
So are we going to be going back and forth with each other, trying to kill each other, or are we finding a truce? And
no, I think we're at a truce right now, because I think you might enjoy this. We're going to find out, because it is recently I've been dipping your toes into this. So, the next album we are going to review, I decided, because I was thinking of like what we have reviewed so far. And originally my thought process was I was going to do my introduction into heavy metal. And then I had a couple of routes to go with that, and I wasn't ready to figure out which route I wanted to go with on like introduction of heavy metal. Right?
I swear to God, this could definitely easily fall into a I'm pissed.
No. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go heavy metal, but I want to go heavy. So I was like, we're going to go hardcore route. But okay. I was like, Lissy's weird with hardcore music. As am I, which I'll explain more next week as to like my opinions on certain things of hardcore music and stuff, because I have like I have more so of a love relationship with it more so now, but like a couple years ago it was a love-hate type of thing with certain things. But we will be reviewing Twitching Tongue's second studio album, because I feel like that is the best album to start with, not their debut album, their second album, which is In Love There Is No Law. We will be doing the reissue version because it sounds better, and there is technically extra songs. There's 2 songs that you really don't have to listen to, which is the Preacher Man 7-inch version and the Feed Your Disease 7-inch version. Both of these songs are already on here. They literally sound exactly the same. It was just uploaded like this because of when they re-released the album. But you get a couple of bonus tracks of March of the EOD. You get a version, a different version of Loveless Nightmare, which is on their debut album. You get a cover of Carnivore's SMD, and I forget the band, but it's a cover of At the Gallows End. I'll have to look that up. But you get a lot here, but it has the typical songs that you've heard of, like Eyes Adjust and Preacher Man are on here. So this is why this is like the good album. And plus, no offense to Colin Young, I love Colin Young. Shout out Hardlore. And he'll even say it. I've heard him say it in interviews before. He sounds like an 18-year-old on sleep therapy.
I mean, I will just say already, like, from the little bit of which I have seen Colin Young, and it is just quite literally from the Hardlore podcast or whatever that you always have playing, I like him. So,
you'll like Twitching Tongues.
I know from the Twitching Tongues songs that I have heard, I've already liked them.
You will like Twitching Tongues. We'll get into more of it next week of, are they really hardcore? Like, there's stuff with it, but, they're like, I don't want to cause a riot or anything, but I believe it. There are a lot of, like, the new age Typo Negative.
I can see that.
I mean, one of Colin's biggest influences with Twitching Tongues is Typo Negative.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I'm already familiar with a couple of their songs, and I already really like it, so I'm probably going to end up just enjoying this, but I was really worried that you were going to go, so we're going to listen to Metallica, and I was about to get up, leave the apartment, get in my car, and drive off a cliff.
I should have been like, we're going to listen to Metallica.
I was about to, undo my subscription to Spotify and say, I can't. I will stop paying for Spotify the day you tell me to listen to Metallica.
The thing is, I have the CDs.
My CD player's broken. Bro, I got a CD stuck in there. Just go
listen to Metallica with your dad. You would enjoy it. Bro, imagine your dad rocking out with Metallica.
He does. He has.
But like him driving around his fucking Jeep.
He has!
Blaring fucking For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, I hate
He's
Metallica.
fucking air guitar.
I fucking hate Metallica, man. I hate Metallica.
Or like he's fucking blaring Seek and Destroy. Searching! Seek and Destroy! Yeah! Ooh, yeah, give me fuel, give me fire, give me... Ooh!
I fucking hate Metallica, man.
Should have just done Metallica. I should have, like, been like, no, we're doing fucking Pantera.
The thing is, I don't not like Pantera. I've just never, like, given Pantera the time of day.
We're gonna do fucking Pantera.
So, there is that.
I should have just fucked with you, like, yeah, we're going heavy, but we're doing Creed.
That's a tough one that's turning into, like, a love-hate relationship.
Oh, yeah, trust me. Creed has a love-hate relationship. But yeah, so that'll be the next episode is Twitching Tongues and Love There's No Law.
Yeah.
Which actually has my favorite Twitching Tongue song on the album.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be next week's episode. Or 2-week episode. Yeah. Bi-weekly podcast.
Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, share, subscribe, send it out to your friends and fellow Gorillaz fans. If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can find us at Talkin Music Pod. That is TALKIN_MUSIC_POD. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lungtar, LUNG_TAR. And you can find me on Blue Sky at Lungtar, LUNG_TAR. And you can also find me on TikTok at LungBucks, LUNG_BUCKS. Dylan, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at DYL_line WEAVES_line. And you can find me on Twitter at Danny, DANI_line, Valo, VALO_line. And you can just witness me wondering, why'd they do that to Snoop Dogg?
It's just gonna be a random post like a week from now, and it's just gonna be a text post on your Instagram story that says, why did the Gorillaz do that with Snoop Dogg? Yeah, I still don't get it.
I'm gonna share the song and like the verse and be like, why?
Why has this happened?
People will be like, what the fuck you mean?
What are you talking about? Everyone's listening to it and they're like, this slaps, what do you mean? And like you just slowly get divulged into madness over because you're the only one on the planet that thinks it sucks. Like nobody else thinks it's terrible. Everyone's like, yeah, no, this is fire.
I caused fucking like mayhem over this.
Yeah. They write you into Gorillaz lore for a music video and kill you off. By Snoop Dogg. Like Snoop Dogg murders you in the Gorillaz lore. Alright, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we will see you next time.
Why'd they do that to Snoop Dogg?
Goodbye.
Snoop!